Hey everyone, let's jump right in. If you're using Slack at work every day, you absolutely know the pain of the daily coordination tax. You know, that endless, exhausting back and forth just to get a simple task off the ground? You're pinging folks, trying to figure out who's actually on call, digging through messy threads for missing details. It's literally draining. Well, today, in this explainer, we're going to completely eliminate that friction. We're diving into Slack's Workflow Builder, specifically looking at how you can automate your team's most repetitive, tedious processes, and get this, without writing a single line of code. Here's our golden rule for today. Think about this. Every time your team types the same escalation message manually in Slack, that's a workflow waiting to be automated. Seriously, how many times a week do you or your team type out something like, hey, the server's acting up, or can someone please look at this customer ticket? You type it out, you inevitably forget half the context, and boom, the channel just devolves into total chaos. It's frustrating, right? But honestly, it is a massive, massive opportunity for automation. We really want to move away from that chaotic reality. No more messy, manually typed pings missing all the crucial details. Instead, we're aiming for the total opposite: clean, structured, automated incident reports. We're talking about gathering all the necessary context right up front, having it beautifully formatted and instantly actionable. No missing details, no wasted time, just a smooth, streamlined process. So, how do we actually get there? Well, the answer is Workflow Builder. If you haven't used it, it's Slack's visual drag-and-drop tool that lets literally anyone automate routine functions using simple triggers and steps. And I mean anyone, because it requires absolutely zero programming knowledge. The best part? It lives right inside your Slack desktop app. You don't have to log into some clunky separate platform, and you definitely don't need to go submit an IT ticket to beg an engineer to build it for you. And honestly, this is the most empowering part. According to Slack's own data, 80% of users who build these workflows are entirely non-technical. Think about that. 80%. Project managers, support agents, marketing coordinators, you guys can do this. You don't need to know Python or JavaScript. Honestly, if you can click a few buttons and fill out a basic web form, you can build a really powerful automation in like 20 minutes, right inside a Slack sandbox or your own free workspace. Now, every automation needs a trigger to kick the whole thing off, right? Slack gives you a pretty awesome toolkit here. You can use external webhooks, say if a service like Datadog suddenly goes down. You can trigger things on a specific schedule, or even use a simple emoji reaction, like a little raised hand. But for today's explainer, we're going to zero in on the link or shortcut trigger. So here's our game plan. We're going to build a live incident reporting workflow step by step. We'll keep it super tight and logical with just 4 straightforward actions. First, setting up the shortcut trigger. Second, building the intake form. Third, automating the channel post. And fourth, setting up a direct message notification. That's the whole shebang. 4 simple steps to total automation.
All right, let's open up the Slack desktop app. To start completely from scratch, just glance over at your Slack sidebar. You're going to click Tools, then select Workflow Builder, and finally hit Create Workflow. It really is that easy to launch the Builder canvas. It pops right up in a fresh window, completely a blank slate, ready for you to start designing your logic. Okay, our first move is locking in that trigger. We'll pick the From a Link in Slack option. What this does is generate a clickable shortcut URL. And this is a real game changer because we can grab this link and pin it right to the top of our main support channels or embed it in a team canvas. So whenever someone needs to report an issue, they don't have to rack their brain trying to remember some complex / command. They literally just click the link.
Next up, we actually need to get the details from the user reporting the issue. So we're adding our first real step by selecting Collect Info in a Form. I gotta say, this is probably my absolute favorite feature. It essentially builds a mini portal right inside Slack itself. When your teammate clicks that shortcut link we just made, this form pops up seamlessly on their screen. No switching to an external ticketing app, no opening a new web browser. They stay right in the flow of their work. Let's look at exactly how we configured this form to be as foolproof as possible. We're setting up 4 specific fields. First, an incident title using a short text box. Next, a severity level using a drop-down menu, so they are literally forced to pick P1, P2, P3, or P4. Third, an affected system, which is also a strict drop-down. And finally, a description field using long text. By structuring it this exact way, we force the submitter to give us all the crucial data right up front. We completely 100% eliminate that annoying, wait, what system is down, back and forth. So once they hit submit on that form, we need all that great data to go somewhere useful, immediately. That brings us to our next step, send a message.
We're going to route this alert directly to our dedicated incidents channel. Think of that as our engineering war room. The very second the form is submitted, the alert lands exactly where the people who can actually fix the problem are already hanging out. And here is where it gets really cool. Slack lets you map the data from your form directly into the message using dynamic variables. So instead of spitting out a messy output with raw bracketed text for the severity in the system, you can use Slack's block formatting options. This instantly populates a beautifully formatted, standardized alert. Those dynamic variables transform into a clean message that highlights the priority and the system right away, meaning engineers can scan and understand it in literally a second.
Okay, we just have one final step to add. Send a DM. We're targeting this direct message to two specific people. First, the person who actually submitted the form so they get a nice little confirmation receipt, and second, the on-call engineer. Now here is the absolute magic of this setup. You can configure it to automatically ping the on-call lead without the person submitting the ticket ever needing to figure out who is actually on duty that day. The system handles all the routing entirely in the background.
And just like that, we hit publish. Our workflow is now live in our simulated workspace. Take a second and think about what we just did here. In a matter of minutes, without writing a single line of code, without begging IT for help, we built a fully functional, multi-step incident routing system. It's fast, it's super intuitive, and it completely standardizes how our team is going to handle emergencies from here on out.
Real scenario, handling a P1 payment outage. Let's put this to the test.
So, imagine you're the support engineer on duty. It's a crazy busy Tuesday, and out of nowhere, a massive P1 payment outage hits. Customers can't check out. Usually this is where the panic sets in, right? But let's see how our new workflow handles it. Minute 1, the outage is spotted. Minute 2, you, the support engineer, simply click that pinned incident shortcut link we made. Minute 3, the form pops up, you quickly select P1 and payments from the dropdowns and type a brief description. Minute 4, you hit submit. Instantly, the incidents channel gets that beautifully block-formatted alert, and the on-call engineering lead gets a DM. Boom. The escalation happened flawlessly in seconds. Absolutely zero manual message composition was needed. That right there is the true power of turning your daily coordination tasks into a streamlined, automated process. By leveraging Workflow Builder, you are literally giving your team their time, their focus, and honestly, their sanity back. So I want to leave you with this question to really chew on today. What repetitive process will you automate? Go open up your Slack workspace, find that Workflow Builder button, and just start experimenting. Thanks for hanging out with me on this explainer, and happy building.